Hi, and welcome back to my next stream. I'm Chaos to the power of 10, and we will continue the Winter Tower? Yeah, right words. Hi Roxanne, hi Luna, hi Hogness, hi Carol. How is you all? I hope your midweek is fine, and the weekend comes soon. I was at work today. It was okay. Still my back hurts. And I'm not happy about tomorrow, so... Yeah, well. Let's ignore that and just play games, I guess. Hey. Please tell me I didn't forget to save. Okay, auto-save and this one is the same, so... I can remember that last time Igor, our stepbrother, came around with knights, but also with one assassin and our butler. And the butler was like tied up and, oh, open the door or I will stab him. So we went out, fought all the knights. We had to decide rather we think they are an assassin or a knight, and we did it. That was okay. And I guess we just ended it there. I cannot remember if there must have been a new chapter, I'm quite sure. I wouldn't end in between chapters. That would feel wrong. Me Loki need to make a shower and eat some din. Have a good appetite. Have a good meal. Bye bye. What else? Oh yeah, we learned that the elf society apparently has not murder trials, but basically they have the death penalty. If you are removing the head of one of the elves, it's basically like removing somebody's heart. So they will slow down and at some point they will just never move again. And putting the head back on them will not help at some point. So that was interesting, especially since it was a child that we talked about. Oh, we got wounded. The child made a trick on us so that we think left and right are like the other switched, the other way around. And so we went walking in the woods, and then we got lost, and then we got attacked by a pack of wolves, and then by a really strange bear. And then we got saved by... wait, before I need to do something. I forgot to unplug something before I play this game. Lol, sorry, just had my first long day today, so me sluggish. Oh yeah, true. The children are back at the school. They are contained. Thank you very much for your service to us other people who do not want children around. Eee. Alexis, I believe. Alexis, saved us. We had a bite wound on our left leg, I believe, and I believe there was another wound somewhere. I believe on our head. Because we fell or something. So, as far as I know, we treated them, but we are still wounded. And we are still fighting. I don't understand how this is working, but yeah. Yeah. Igor feeling cornered, pulled his longsword out of its sheath and pressed the blade against Romanov's neck. Romanov is our butler. Since childhood, I guess. Damn you! Don't come any closer. You must have guts if you haven't surrendered yet. I will give you that. I have guts if I surrender or not. That's part of being alive. My rapier pierced through Igor's shoulder. Ah! Yeah, we... when we started this game, we already said, oh, please tell us that we can stab him. No, he's not good. I pulled Romanov's closer to me and cut the ropes that bound him, ignoring Igor's pain screams. Romanov accepted a dagger from me and used it to threaten Igor to be quiet. Wait here while I prepare for our journey. I walk into the tower. Oh yeah, we got a letter. There was a letter. So they are here in the pretense that they say we are searched for a crime, that we were the person that got our father to fall off the horse and therefore tried to kinda kill him by that way. I'm meh? And apparently the letter is indeed in the writing style of our father, and as far as I understand it, the father is awake again. And they are to escort us back to our home. Even though theoretically we still need to be in the tower for the off-age ceremony. So, When I met with Alexis inside the tower, he immediately examined my body for wounds.
Are you hurt?
Ah yeah, true, you have a voice. Not a single scratch, quite literally. Besides the wolf bites and the knocking on my head that I got earlier today, Igor forgot about the situation he was in and flipped out the moment he noticed Alexis standing beside me. Who is this scoundrel? Were you with another man without telling... Wait, what do you mean another man? I'm not married or spoken to. Romanov, what? On it, my lady. Oh, Romanov, on it, my lady. Did you gag him? Romanov skillfully muffled Igor's mouth. I beg your pardon, sir. How shall I address you?
I'm Alexis Yevgenyk Strelnikov.
Yeah, that. What an impressive name. Why does he not have a voice? Please call me Romanov.
Pleased to meet you, Romanov.
I ordered Romanov to throw Igor into the shed while I waited in the living room with Alexis. He will die down there. It's cold out, okay? Romanov returned shortly thereafter. Alexis has been living in the tower since before I arrived. He probably didn't know it even had an owner, as the place was deserted for quite a long time. I would believe it. I had all but forgotten this property as well until you mentioned the coming-of-age ceremony, my lady. Romanov, how did my father look when you last saw him? As young Master Igor said, the Lord was in fact unconscious the last time I saw him. Wait, so he is still unconscious? How did he write the letter? Could it be possible that he only wakes up when that woman is around? I doubt it. Since I attended to him during the daytime, he must have woken up during the nighttime. However, the Lord would have had no reason not to tell me if he were in fact conscious. I took the letter out of my coat. Since Romanov is with me, let's double-check the letter. Something is off about this. I believe the handwriting was correct, as far as I can remember. The wax seal? The fact the envelope is missing a wax seal bothers me. Romanov nodded in agreement. Well, as far as I can remember, we stole the rings for the seal. So, I concur. The envelope may be lacking a seal since you have possession of the signed ring. Yeah. Nonetheless, Lord Ivanov wouldn't have sent a letter that did not bear his signature. Indeed. There's a risk the letter might have been altered otherwise. The Lord handles every matter with the utmost caution. The chance that he forgot to write his own signature would be very low. I haven't found a proper piece of evidence yet. I must think harder. What's odd about this letter? Oh. Ivy? I have the feeling I never was called Ivy before. I pointed out the line that seemed strange. Romanov examined it carefully, then replied, "This is certainly strange. Lord Ivanov would never use a nickname in writing unless it were a personal letter." That's correct. He once explained to me that it was to prevent any confusion between those who might use the same nickname and also to remain formal in the presence of others. Though the letter was written in my father's handwriting, the missing wax seal and the use of my nickname tell me that this is fake. Romanov agreed with my conclusion. The problem is the handwriting. How can my father write if he's unconscious? There is a theory that comes into my mind. Fake. As you are well aware, I have been serving the people of the castle even before you were born, my lady. Before the present lord held his title, he had illegible handwriting? He did? Romanov gently laughed, reminiscing about the past. You wouldn't believe it nowadays. His handwriting was so bad that at one point his love letter was sent to the wrong person. Don't tell me it's my mom. Rumor has it that many young ladies sat together that day in order to decipher the letter that the Lord has sent out. Oh yeah. I never heard of such an incident. Due to his poor handwriting, Lord Ivanov ran into many issues, some small, some large. In the end, the previous lord became frustrated and sent the present Lord Ivanov to the Winter Tower. Oh, here, okay. I see. So that's why he's always emphasizing the importance of having good manners and neat handwriting. Yeah. Yes. Back then, the Lord was in love with a certain young lady. He told me he felt like dying when they were separated. What happened to them?
Before you spill the jelly beans, would you like a cup of tea?
Before you spill the jelly beans. I didn't know when he got there, but Alexis appeared with hot tea and meringue cookies. I didn't know when he got here. Okay. Sure. Why not? Alexis baked those cookies himself. Give them a try. Romanov accepted my offer and naively grabbed a meringue cookie. A few seconds later he coughed vigorously. Oh yeah, he's not good at cooking. I forgot about that. This has a very unique flavor. So this is how you feel. I wanted to laugh out loud, but I held it back in order to prevent Romanov's dignity preserve. Alexis didn't say anything, but I could tell he was laughing on the inside. Romanov continued speaking after subtly pushing the tray back towards Alexis. When people are separated, their heart follows as well. Moreover, his poor handwriting never quite delivered his message accurately. When it became impossible for him to meet with his lover, the fire in his heart gradually died out. He soon became tired of practicing his handwriting. He was frustrated when he realized there was no improvement. Instead, he opted to spend more time in the woods, trotting around with his horse. Then one day Lord Ivanov found a woman lost in the woods. Question: what does this all have to do with his handwriting and why we have a letter of him? Of course, the lost woman in the woods is a fine lady. Amongst the white birch trees, her raven hair made her look like a fairy straight out of a storybook. Wait, was she? Yes. This is where the Lord met Madame Ivanova, whereafter she would eventually pass away while giving birth to you. Oh. God damn it. Of course the mother dies. I understand that you didn't know the entire story. The Lord has always been reluctant to share stories about her with you. He simply told me they met by chance while my father was out for a walk. I had no idea they met here. Oh, they met here. He quickly fell in love with the fairy lady who looked mysterious enough to be a fairy. He told me that if his first love was a campfire, this one was a fierce blaze strong enough to raise a field. Alexis listened attentively, nodding at Romanov. I accidentally won a raffle? What do you mean? Do you mean by chance? Because every raffle is by chance? What kind of raffle? It was Madame Ivanova who helped the Lord improve his poor handwriting. She advised him not to change his handwriting itself, but to draw the letters. Did that solve his problems? Surprisingly, it did. The new point of view made his handwriting, which resembled chicken scratch, much more organized. That means that my father hasn't been writing, but drawing. A perfect copy of the alphabet, that is. Romanov sipped at his tea to moisten his throat. I became the Chamberlain 10 years later, so I could not compare the handwriting of the present lord to the previous lord. At first I assumed he was copying the letter from book. Reading this letter has made me suspect otherwise, however. I just thought I would try to enter a raffle that Thrush did, and, well, I was apparently the only contestant. Yeah, I guess Thrush is streaming so long now and doing so many raffles that there are not a lot of people maybe left. Wait, did you win a poster? I believe one of them was a poster or something. Maybe an emote. What if Lord Ivanov perfectly replicated the handwriting of his father? Oh, I see where this is going. Wait, so this letter is from Grandpa? Yes. I believe this letter may have been written by the former lord. Wait, is he still alive? Where is he? Every heir of the Ivanov family is granted the nickname Eve, which is a shortened form of Ivanov, regardless of their gender. My father calls me both Kate and Eve. He surely inherited the habit from his father. I read the letter once again. What was the incident mentioned in the letter then? It was nothing unusual. You are aware that the present lord was the second-born son, correct? Yes. The third son always envied his eldest brother. Oh, so the letter is not on to me, but from the previous lord to his son, maybe? I got an emote. Yay! Hogness emote. He thought himself qualified to become the heir. Thus, he refused to accept that he wasn't considered for the title simply because he was born after his elder brother. The third son despised the situation he was in and framed Lord Ivanov for poisoning him. He put forth your father's personal letter as evidence, and his illegible handwriting made him a suspect. The enraged previous lord sent the present lord away to the Winter Tower. With less competition, the third son began to try to impress the previous lord. However, the father was disinterested in allowing the third son to compete for the position of heir. I got an Ela emote. Do I know them? I need a picture. I will see it when the emote is done, I guess. Having felt intimidated, the third young master killed his elder brother, disguised it as an accident, and framed up his youngest sister for the crime. What is going on in our family? That was the wrong decision to make because the previous lord favored his first son. Your father was only faced with banishment. Wait, what? Is our father the third? Wait, who is our father right now? You are talking too many generations. This letter may have been written by the former lord, so I guess our grandfather. It was nothing unusual. You are aware that the present lord was second-born son. Okay, so our father is the second-born. The third son wanted to be heir. So the third master killed his elder brother. Which one of them? Disguised it as an accident and framed up his youngest sister for the crime. Okay, so oh, so the third son framed our father to poison himself, also poison the third son. Our father was sent to the Winter Tower where he met our mother. Then the third son killed the first son. And framed his youngest sister for it. Aha. My character in OS D&D. Now I have a picture. Thank you. Cute. Wait, is it the summer one? The summer emote? That would be interesting. Your father was only faced with banishment. Why was my father faced with banishment? What did my father do? He was already in Winter Tower. His younger brother, on the other hand, was executed in the same way he had killed the elder brother. Now just any emote. Oh, no summer D&D Hogness. The youngest sister went into shock due to this and hurriedly left the castle after getting married. What a tragedy. Wait, so our father was banished? For what? He was framed 2 times. I figured the family history couldn't be as perfect as it seemed. Wait, does it also mean that our castle is not our family castle, but the castle that our father built after he was banished? I can understand why my father was reluctant to talk about his youth. This is also the reason the Lord hasn't announced his final decision on the next heir. Because he has worried that Igor and I will end up like he and his sibling did. As you say. He witnessed firsthand what a person is capable of in the name of greed. I simply thought he was trying to respect my independence. That might have been partly the reason too. At the end of the day, you are left with more choices because young Master Igor is here. I put the letter back into my pocket. My job here is done. I shall return to the castle, is it? Wait, were we here for a year? Siren might hold my father hostage. I should make use of Igor to the best of my advantages. Romanov, we will arrive at the castle in no longer than 5 days. We won't be taking any breaks, so provide the knights with as many supplies from the basement as needed. Yes, my lady. It's time to decide. Wait, if we bring Alexis here, then doesn't that mean we need to get the elves also into the castle? Wait, I need to save this. Do you want to come? As you may have heard already, Alexis, I will be returning to the castle now. What would you like to do? I may not understand your situation, but we have knights to guard you. If anything goes wrong, I will be here to protect you as well. You won't have to fear for your safety.
Will you become Lord Ivanova after all of this is done?
Maybe. It's a little sooner than expected, but I suppose so. Well, our father is still alive. If you don't have any particular reason to stay here, Alexis, would you like to come with me? This particular moment felt more unnerving than when I had to fight the knights by myself. Alexis smiled at my offer.
All right, my lady.
Really? Wait, what is with the elves? Will you just leave them behind? I'm confused. Promise. Are we here for a year? No. With Igor under my control, we reached the castle after 5 sleepless nights. Though I was away for barely 3 months. Yeah, I was away for only 3 months. I should have been there for a year. I promised him that I would care for him the whole year. It felt like it had been an entire year. Open the gates! I boldly marched through the main gates and adjusted my attire. Sneaking in through the back door was for criminals. Criminals like Siren, who eagerly awaits her son's return. She was dressed to the nines to greet her son, but when she saw me leading the knights instead, she visibly flinched. I'm relieved she didn't hold father hostage. I won't allow you to escape. I ordered the knights to catch her. Ekaterina! How dare you walk in through the... What's there for me to fear? This is my home. Also, didn't you, send the knights to bring me here? So I would go through the main door anyway. The knights tossed the still-bound assassin before her eyes. Elissa became pale when she recognized his face. Your son has confessed to his crimes already. I suggest you do the same. This, she's red, is all a dirty setup. This was part of your plan from the beginning. You have always envied Igor. Not really. He's slimy. You just couldn't accept the fact he would become the rightful heir, could you? Well, that's not on you to decide. It's time you woke up. Igor is not the heir. I am. Like mother, like daughter. Oh, wait, you know my mother? You knew my mother? Wait, are you the person? I have the feeling there is a backstory about the death of my mom. Food is posted, thank you. I will look. You don't care about the pain you cause to those around you. Now she's just rattling off whatever comes to mind. Could it be that she is the first love of our father? And since our father moved on, she is now back to revenge her possible future back then? Melissa questions me with pale, trembling lips. What did you do to Igor? You didn't kill him, did you? No, he's sadly still alive. Who knows? The answer to that question depends upon your actions. He won't remain in one piece for long if you continue to deny the truth and throw baseless accusations at me. Melissa found herself in a serious dilemma. I admit to everything. It was all my doing. Lock her up in the dungeon. Igor as well. Don't lay a finger on Igor. Well, I only lock him up. He already got a stab wound, so we need to treat his wounds. Unless you want him to die even, like, more painfully. Eeh. Somehow I don't sit quite well. He doesn't know about any of this. Ah, are you sure? Are you telling me he's innocent? That he only did what you told him to do? Don't make me laugh. Being that ignorant would be a crime of its own. No, you're the criminal. Just wait and see. Igor will punish you thoroughly. No, he will not. Lock them up separately. I will get my revenge. I will get my revenge. There we go. I will make you suffer for all of this. What do you mean all of this? You started this. I had no patience to sit and listen to some crazy woman complain. I returned to the castle after locking up the mother and son pair in the dungeon. It took less than half a day for the chaos to settle down. Romanov was with my father as the unconscious man still needed care. Ooh, how many people live here? After dinner, a maid brought us a tray of various sweets. Had I just imagined it, or were Alex's sparkling eyes never so bright as when they looked upon those sweets? Help yourself, we have got so many that you will soon grow sick of them. Alexis took small bites of the soft cakes.
This is delicious.
I'm glad you like it. Though I did not bake them myself. Still, I could argue that I indirectly made it because this castle was mine. No, that's not how that works. I feel a little empty inside now that it's all over.
Is that so?
I'm just glad
I'm
that...
just glad that you weren't hurt.
Alexis smiles blissfully. It lightened up the room. Could this be the feeling that my father felt when he met my mother? Alexis, will you... If you're not waiting for someone else, will you marry me? Wait, what? Where is this coming from? Somehow I missed all the romance in this, and I don't know why. I mean, I guess, you know, from the base of the game, I'm guessing that this is a romance story. Therefore, yes, I'm guessing that these two are the main people, and therefore they will, like, come together. You know, get together, marry, whatever. But I cannot really see the romance in the story. I couldn't say the words. It would have been too embarrassing to say it casually. I should probably tell Romanov to set a date for the perfect proposal. It can wait, since time is on my side.
Something's
Are they poison you? I thought to myself while I watched Alexis cut another piece of cake for himself, but then he started to spasm. Alexis? He dropped to the floor like a puppet whose string had been cut. Somebody poisoned Alexis. Romanov immediately brought the doctor to check on Alexis' condition. I'm afraid he has been poisoned. By who? By the cook. My lady, there's only one person who would do such a thing. Melissa. Was this what she meant when she said she would get her revenge? But how would she do that unless there's another assassin around? I shouldn't have let my guard down. I won't let her get away with this. Feed her poison. Feed her the rest of the cake. That would be fair. Alexis moaned and gasped as if he would breathe his last at any moment. We need the antidote now. He won't survive much longer like this. Melissa laughed hysterically the moment she saw me enter the dungeon. Her lunatic cacophony echoed without end. Ha 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 ha. Even Igor was shocked speechless by his mother's demeanor. She's gone insane. Making a deal with her will be pointless. I ignored him for the moment and waited until Melissa stopped laughing. After her moment of hysteria ended, she panted for breath. What do you want? That face of yours. I want to see that face of yours oh so dearly. Melissa clasped her hand around the cell bars and whispered. You took what belonged to me, while he was away for that short period of time. Those 6 short months. What are you talking about? You became so cocky after teaching him a few letters. What? Oh, she is okay. So, she is a woman that in the story of our father is the first love of him that he left behind after he was banished and then found my mother in the woods who taught him to write nicely. And now she is like, oh, I see her in your face. You know, you look like your mother, so I need to destroy you. I could have done that too, you know. Back then, the Lord was in love with a certain young lady. Oh, back then, the Lord was in love with a certain young lady. And this is like, you know, when you have memories and there is this harp playing in the background. I guess this is how it is. He told me he felt like dying when they were separated. I read all of it. I saw all of it. I am the only one who can truly understand his feelings. Huh? This castle, his power. They were supposed to belong to me. Who are you to barge in and steal them from me? Melissa was living in a fantasy world where my father had never met my mother. Was that why you sent me poison? Oh, that was a sudden shift of face. Yes. Since you took what was mine, mine, isn't it only fair that I take what's yours in exchange? Well, he isn't, first of all, not my. I'm just caring for him for a year, basically. And how did you do it? You have the poison? Who put it into the cake? Just as your father brought a woman back when he returned from the tower. You brought a man along. What's the antidote? I neither know nor care. I order the servants to use everything at their disposal. What servant? For all I care, they may have mixed poisons. This is the worst case scenario. The person who decided to poison somebody does not know what they used. I got out of the dungeon because it wasn't worth my time to listen any further. It was Melissa's housemaid who had poisoned the food. She had already killed herself, knowing we would come after her. So we dug through her belongings and found the poisons that were used. We had yet to uncover its exact composition. Oh. No. I laid Alexis on the bed next to my father's, and prayed that he would hold on until an antidote was made. Wait, my father has a bed, and then an empty bed next to his? In his room? I mean, yeah, okay, but still a little bit strange, maybe? Is it my mother's bed? I can imagine having two beds, like one for me and one for my partner, depending what kind of mattress we want. You know? Or we need, basically. Huh. I chuckled at myself. It wasn't so long ago that I promised I would protect Alexis. Now all I could do was pray. If I had taken a bite of the dessert first, I would have realized it. Alexis simply ate whatever I offered him, without a hint of caution. How can you be so naive? Well, you gave him the cake, so you were not better. He was just like the elves. I half expected him to wake at any moment and gobble down all the desserts in the castle. Him dying didn't even seem like a possibility. Romanov stopped by after changing my father's bedsheets. My lady, do you remember this book by any chance? I do. It was my favorite book when I was a little girl. The cover had a drawing of a small yet brave young warrior. I read this to you a few times over the years. Do you remember the name of the protagonist? I think it was Alex. Yes. Well, his full name was Alexis Jevenik Strelinkov. I cannot say it, I'm sorry, but these are too many letters. Doesn't work for me. Alexis. Wait, what did you say? I opened the book to confirm the name. It was indeed Alexis. It isn't a common name. Isn't it surprising that the name of this man is identical to that of your favorite childhood character? It must be a coincidence. Now we are going into deep psychological fields where, like, if you have a crush on a character as a child out of the book, you are trying to find that person in real life as a normal person. Coming from the person from the land of complicated words. Oh, our words are not that complicated. You just need to understand the separated words inside the word. We are basically just having a lot of words and then we are putting them one after another to create a new word. Okay? It's like puzzles. It's not that complicated. I recall something else from your childhood about an elvish friend you often described. I did? It was a long time ago. You stopped mentioning him after you began your education. I hope he recovers like the brave boy in the storybook. Lastkraftwagen. Yes. So, last is... how do you call it in English? Something heavy, for example, is a last. Something that a burden, basically. A load, yeah. Kraft is like strength. And Wagen is car. Ta-da! A car for bigger amounts of loads. Also, we do not really say it anyway. Lastkraftwagen. Nobody would go around asking, hey, where's your Lastkraftwagen? LKW, yeah. We would say LKW. Romanov handed me the book, then continued on to change Alex's bedsheet. My father regained consciousness after 4 more days. After hearing what had happened over the past couple of months, he granted the 2 people in the dungeon the death sentence. Both? Interesting. Melissa claimed her innocence until the very end. No, she's not. Fortunately, the antidote was ready soon enough and Alexis' condition was alleviated. Although he wasn't poisoned anymore, he remained asleep. What was more, he grew stone-like, like an elf without their head. Oh. Seeing Alexis in this state, I flashed back to a conversation that he and I had. The sugar?
It's as you suspect. Heads are like an elf's heart.
Okay.
And without it, they'll gradually cease to move.
Yes, but you never had a head. What happens if they completely stop moving?
You will fall into an eternal sleep.
Oh. Wait, who removed your heart though?
At
that
point, he won't come back, even if his hat is returned.
It's Lesbel in Swedish. Load car. Yeah. See? It's not that outlandish. The doctor said there was no cure for these symptoms. Praying was, once again, my only option. If Alexis were an elf, I could return his head before he ceased moving completely, but Alexis wasn't an elf. Do I smell the true love's kiss in the air to wake him up, to return his heart? It can get outlandish, especially Swedish compound words. What are compound words? I had never even seen him wear a hat. He hasn't changed a bit since we first met. My only source of comfort was spending time with the elves that came out of the chimney at night while everyone else was asleep. Wait, they followed? They piled up sweets on the bed and played music to show how much they care about Alexis. Everyone is waiting for you, Alexis. Words put together. So basically German. Now's not the time to be lost in dreamland. Kate, the tiny elf that had me pranked before, gave me a sweet. I accepted the gift and gave him a tight hug to thank him. Holding the warm baby elf like a teddy bear gave me a sense of déjà vu. Déjà vu? I recalled something else from your childhood about an elvish friend you often described. Wait, is Alexis the elf that was our friend? Since elves can travel through chimneys to any place they want, perhaps I ran into one of them in the castle. It's almost like we come from a similar language base. Yeah, how strange. Though I can't remember the friend clearly because it was so long ago. He would have been bigger than you. I tried my best to jog my memory while I petted the baby elf.
To the very core, elves love sweets, pranks, and...
It was something that Alexis had once told me. Oh, Jesus. Nordvesters Jökulstad til Riflaik Spanning Xi Mulatoran Legningsmateri Lunders Halsu. Why two P's behind each other? Oh, there's a system. Följing system. Discussion synlex förberett Elsia beten. I butchered that one, for sure. The funny thing is I don't know. Nord, I understand. System, I don't understand. discussion, I understand. But in between, there are areas where I don't know where the next word starts or ends, you know? And that's then is a material. I see material. Material Anders Halssoup. Yeah. What is that? Told me. Wait, no. It wasn't. As if lightning had struck me, something flashed through the crevice of my memory.
To the very core, elves love sweets, pranks, and
More sweets?
making promises.
Did he tell me that? Old memories. It was a long, long time ago. Well before I started my education and training. I would sometimes play hide and seek with Romanov. I would roam around the castle wearing a snow-white hat and coat. Romanov always found me no matter where I hid. So I hid even further out to lose Romanov. I snuck into more secluded and remote places by the day. It was between the crates in an abandoned storage shed that I met a little elf who was shaking in fear in the corner. Having realized that he was discovered, he froze on the spot. Hi, are you playing hide and seek too? This small elf has a really manly voice. Are you sick or cold? Could you stop moaning? Come here. I can warm you up. I simply assumed that the elf with a reddened face was sick. It was a word meaning preparation for a discussion about a simulation building for Northwest Sea artillery flights. Wait, there's one word for that? Not even we would try to do that, okay? We would say prepare for the discussion about the simulation. Yeah, we would say all of that, not just one word. Is that on? Wait, did they make up that one word just for this one discussion? Because after the discussion is over, the word is basically meaningless. I gave him, who was desperately shaking his head, a tight squeeze. Someone did. Oh, that is indeed Alexis. Wait, do you have a cap? Does your heart hurt? Could you just talk? Romanov says it's not good to have a fast beating heart. Grünsäcker. Green things. Any idea what that word is in English? Just green things? Does it mean any green thing, or do you mean like vegetables? My mommy passed away because her heart was weak. I'm Ekaterina Ivanova. What's your name? The elf was breathless, so he stuttered.
Have no name.
Oh, wait, do I name him? Then what if I call you Alexis? Realization Skatnik. Realization Skatnik. It directly translates to green things, but it's the Swedish word for vegetables. Ah, it is vegetables. Greens. Give me the green stuff. Oh no, I will not say this. Alexis. Alexis Jeff Stray. He's the hero in my favorite book.
Alexis. Yevgenik. Strelnikov. Alexis.
Aha. Flood hast, river, horse, hippopotamus. Isn't that the Latin scientific word though? For horse? No. Am I thinking about a hippo right now? That word is reality gains taxation? I don't even understand that one. Yeah, it's hippo. Yee, I knew it. The elf repeated his newly given name to commit it to memory. Oh no, Romanov is here. I need to go hide somewhere else. Bye. I ran out of the shed when I heard Romanov's footsteps. A few days later, the elf peeped out from the small fireplace in my bedroom. He had grown a few inches taller since I had last met him. He greeted me with rosy cheeks.
Hi, Ekaterina.
Hi, Alexis. Alexis' ears and cheeks dyed red when he heard his name spoken. Do you always have a cold?
I'm not sick.
We are... I guess we are a child, so that's fine. Alexis handed me a piece of chocolate. Chocolate is bad for your teeth.
Not these ones.
They are diet. Jugmok. That chocolate has the loveliest and richest flavor of all the sweets I have ever had. That is delicious.
If you really like it, I can make more sweets for you anytime you want.
Alexis blushed all the way down to his neck when he saw me smile. He returned it with a shy grin of his own. The elf continued to show up every now and then. Eventually, he became more talkative. He would sometimes ask me questions that I wouldn't understand or tell me fun facts about elves. That's a town in northern Sweden. Jugmok. It sounds like a Pokemon. And a weird one. Tankut? Teeth meat. Ugh. Wait, is it that stuff that is like in between your tooth? Like meat is stuck in between your tooth?
To the very core, elves love sweets, pranks, and making promises. An elf can do these things thanks to their hat. Without it, they're powerless.
Promises were sacred to elves. He told me that keeping promises was as important to them as their heads.
Kate? Do you know what it means when you give an elf a name?
No. Tankut, gum. Huh? Oh, gum. Gum meat? So basically just the gum? No. What?
It means that you'll become their master.
I don't like this. Romanov told me that everything in this castle belongs to my daddy. Oh, Romanov told me that everything in this castle belongs to my daddy. And I'm his daughter. What belongs to my daddy will become mine someday. Since you're in my castle, I suppose you could say that you are mine too. That's a weird one. The elf grew serious and questioned me.
Are you the master of this castle right now?
No. They still call me young lord.
If I accept you as my master, will you promise me one thing?
What is it?
My hat is the most important thing I own.
Okay. Gums the flesh in between your teeth. So it is a meat in between teeth.
I'll give it to you. But in exchange, will you give me yours?
My hat? Okay. Wait, do I have a hat?
You can't forget. If you become the master of this castle and forget our promise, I'll vanish.
I promised to remember. Soon thereafter, I started my education in sword training. Arwitz, ja. People flooded around me. The elf visited me less and less often. The elf, as well as the promise, became fragments and lost in my memory. But now I remember everything. To elves, their head was their root of power, life and heart. Because I had forgotten our promise, because I had turned away from him, Alexis was dying slowly and quietly. An elf's head means his life. My head is... Ah! Aha! His life. The ring of my family? But I don't really want to give that off. I love my rapier, but I guess my family ring is more important. Alexis thought I may be late. Though I may be late, I'm ready to make good on my promise. Good job. I don't even know what I'm saying. Europa? I will give you my head and you will give me yours in exchange. If an elf's soul was their head, mine was my family ring. I pulled the blue sapphire ring off my index finger and wrapped Alexis' hand around it. A faint blue glow emanated from Alexis' chest. Could Alexis' head be his heart? Oh, a flower. I touched frosty frosty crystal with the tip of my finger. I touched the frosty crystal with the tip of my finger, I guess. The crystal magically turned into a beautiful ring. Alexis' heart. He will die if I don't grant him a new one. I just gave him my ring. I firmly pressed my blue sapphire ring onto Alexis' chest. The blue sapphire melted away. It smeared into his chest like melting snow. Soon Alexis was consumed by dazzling rays of light. You can do it. Alexis. The elves rushed out from the chimney and gathered around Alexis. Europa is to call on. Okay. Not that I will remember that, but okay. Ba-boom, ba-boom. I pressed an ear against his chest, listening to his rhythmic heartbeat. I gently caressed Alexis' cheek as I watched them return to their original color. On your feet, lazy bones. The lady herself has come to wake you up. Oh, hi. My dear elf slowly opened his eyes and greeted me with a drowsy voice. Question, why is this elf so tall and human-like? I'm confused. My dear elf slowly opened his eyes and greeted me with a drowsy voice.
Good morning, Ekaterina, my lady.
So I'm your master now? Finn. Is it their version of kinda like, oh, we are kinda married now? Because we exchanged our hearts? I'm confused. Thank you for playing. Ah, okay. It is indeed the last picture. Besides the side story. The side story is payment, though. I think it is after story, the way it looks like. I think. Did we finish it? I guess we did. Somehow I'm unhappy with the ending though. First of all, the whole thinking about, oh, should we marry? Is like, I don't quite see the romantic aspect between these two. I don't know. I never had seen a flirt between these two. You know, one that doesn't go over my head at least. Maybe I really do not understand how subtle some people flirt with each other. So the whole, oh, let's marry was like, where did that one come from? Is that just because it is like timeline-wise in the Middle Ages, maybe? Where you are expected to marry someone? So, romantic, non-existing flirting. Yes. Then there was this swoop about, oh, we know each other from childhood. And accidentally, we turned you into we turned ourselves into your master? So basically, you do not even have a choice because we are your master. And then there was the whole thing about, oh, let's make a promise that we switch out something later. I give you my head if you give me yours. That would mean back then, when they were still children, Alexis planned out that he already has romantic feelings about us. That's why he's blushing. And that he wants to kind of marry us because we are switching hearts, basically, right? Or rather, he wants to bind himself to us in a magical way. I also don't quite understand where the heart is coming from. Back then, he was a normal elf. He has a head. Right? Where is his head these days? I don't understand. I would understand it better if he would have a head somewhere around and he is giving us the head. I know that it is saying, oh, it's basically for elves that the head is like the heart. But he is an elf. He is an elf. He must have a head. Right? I don't understand. Where's his head? Why is he so tall? Why is he human-like? I don't understand this. Why is he strange? Why is he the strangest elf I have seen so far? Can somebody explain this to me? I'm unhappy with this. Meh. How did he end up in the Winter Tower? In the basement in a hidden area of the Winter Tower? So what we doing now? I don't know. I don't know. I have the Henry Stickmin collection. And it is installed as far as I see it. If we want to do that. I also still have... Wait. Metrophobia, the demo. from the demo stream that we never did. I have also Crypt of the Necrodancer. That is fun to play. I'm not good with rhythm, but still. Slime Rancher? Let me see. Some things are still... I need to open Steam.